Today is a little bit of a farewell video. However, it's one that I didn't think I was going to get the chance to say goodbye to. Yes, it is on the 2026 LC500, and this one is even more special because the new owner of this car is actually someone from our YouTube channel and a longtime viewer and subscriber and supporter. So big shout out to the new owner. You know who you are, and thank you for letting me do this video. So in today's video, I'm gonna go over this car in great detail from top to bottom, as well as, luckily enough, get to drive it. So you're gonna see some driving impressions. And I'm going to tell you, very importantly, why this car is so special. So make sure you stay to the end of the video. I'm Justin Mason from Performance Lexus in St. Catharines. Make sure you hit like and subscribe for more Lexus related content. Okay, so let's use my handy dandy POV tool here and do a little bit of a closer look up to the LC. So this one, the way it's spec'd out, is actually a base model. So this is the base LC here in Canada, and probably my favorite color combination. It's so hard. I really like the blue on white and blue on anything really, but lately I've been all about the green on tan, which is what this is. It's called Nori Green Pearl. We have a Palomino interior. It gives me such old money vibes. I love it. In fact, I have a car at home with the same color combination. So just taking a little bit of a look here, a big difference is the wheels, and I'm gonna talk about those in a second. We'll start with the front though. So front of the LC, this one doesn't have the plate frame on it. A lot of my guests do the tow hook cover. That's this right here. It's by a brand called Platypus, and they do a good job. It stays on an angle. We did that for the Inspiration Edition as well. So if you are an LC owner, that's kind of nice. That way you don't drill into the holes here, into the grille. And the grille is so beautiful. It's kind of nice to have it exposed. I really like, with this color, I really like the chrome. I know a lot of my guests black out the chrome, but I think with this particular build and with the green, it does suit it. It's a little old school, which admittedly this guest calls himself old school. We have our signal lights there. They're an LED strip, and you'll see the daytime running lights sort of run actually into the headlight. It gives the car such presence when it goes down the road. In fact, as you see it I hope on camera people can see how big this car looks and how much presence it has. Those little details, like this headlight and how it goes into the casing there, I hope portrays it nicely. And it's really interesting that because of the bulbs are spherical, if that's even a word, I can actually see my reflection in the shadows of the bulbs, which is really cool. So lots of detail there. We have that big chrome grille with the Lexus emblem in the center. Of course, little bird's eye view camera right there as well. Now, this particular guest got PPF on the hood, super important, because this hood, and you can kind of see it, it's really hard to see, but you can see it. This hood has such an angle to it, and that's why wow, look at that angle. That's why this color really pops as well, I find, is because the hood is so big. It actually does show the lines on the hood, which I really like. And yeah, important to protect it. The bumper, not so much, but definitely the hood, get some PPF on there and ceramic if you can. This one we were just in the rain, and you could never tell by looking at it. I am gonna pop the hood. I don't do that in a lot of videos, but why not? This is the final LC video for us, so we have to go into great detail about it. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, this is actually what makes this car so special. One of the things, I'm gonna talk about a few things today, but this 5-liter V8 with 472 or 73 horsepower, the sound of this engine is unlike anything else in the lineup. In fact, if you didn't know, it took engineers 5 years to perfect the octaves of this exhaust. Meaning when you accelerate, the way the engine sounds is actually pleasing to the ear biologically, if that's even a word. So that's what we have under here, this beautiful V8. It's probably one of the reasons this car is getting discontinued, for that push of getting rid of V8s with most manufacturers. I think the green looks super cool under here too, by the way. Having the engine bay the way it is, we got some supports. Ooh, it's all still pretty hot from driving. A little bit of texture here, almost like a carbon fiber cover. Huge engine block. You can actually see injectors and plugs and things like that. We have this intake here, which makes an amazing sound. Interesting enough, I'll show you here. Do you know what that is? See if anybody in the comments knows what that is. There's also one on the struts here. You can kind of see right there. That if you were to hit a pedestrian, that's a little explosive charge. That's gonna pop open the hood all around it to create a little bit of a soften for the pedestrian. I'm sure it's because of safety regulations, because the hood is so angular, and we see that coming up on a few new cars. I think the TZ has it. And yeah, it actually pops the hood, saves that pedestrian just a little bit. Probably wrecks your hood, but that's okay. You could always get a new hood. You can't always get another pedestrian. So yeah, that's what that is for. Our windshield washer fluid. And you can actually see the brake booster and stuff over there too. And then our fuse box over to the left. But yeah, that, my friends, is really one of the main reasons this car is so special. So we'll shut that and we'll move on to the side profile. So I do think the LC, and my friend who owns an LC has told me the same, that every angle of the car is just absolute beauty. Just so gorgeous. So much to talk about here. Let's start with those wheels I mentioned earlier. I prematurely mentioned. So interesting enough, these wheels are a flip contrast-wise to the original LC. So back in 18, it was like the chrome was out here and the black was in there. I had a set of those. I put them on my old LS. You've probably seen that video. They looked so sick. And then they switched to these ones. The internet went crazy. They didn't like them, but we also have the three-dimensional wheel that everybody likes. That's the performance and the convertible wheel. This is like the VIP looking wheel. Makes it look more luxurious, less sporty. We have a big brake caliper there. You can see very glazed brakes. We were just driving it. And also the inside of the wheel is black too. That's kind of interesting. That nori green is really popping. I hope it comes off on camera because it looks really sharp in person. Let's talk about our mirrors here. So we have a little bit of chrome with a black cap, body color on the bottom, and there is a camera on the bottom of that as well. We have the katana blade, so that's what this is called. This is the katana blade. You can black it out if you want. Lexus does make a part, or you could have it wrapped. On some of the models, like the bespoke ones especially, you could have it blacked out so you can get that piece. Again, on the green, I like the chrome. And this one being the base model, it doesn't have the carbon roof, it has a glass roof. So that kind of looks black. So then we have green, chrome, and then black there. And also too, I don't know what people are gonna think about this, I wouldn't tint this car. I'd get the PPF. I wanna see that green on Palomino, you know, when you're driving it. Tint gives you privacy, yes, protects the interior, but I do like the way the Palomino looks when you're peeking through the window here. We also have a unique door handle only to the LC for Lexus. It pops out, you can see it there. And then you can kind of just open it like that. There's not many doors in the market that you can pull the handle and then also, you know, separately open it up. Like it actually pops the door out. So that's unique. Still continuing to look at like just the side profile, so gorgeous. We have these vents here to cool off the rear brakes and tires and probably differential. It's not a bad thing if you are an LC owner to have that PPF as well. And that's what we did on this car. Just because it sticks out, it protrudes out, if you will, so far from the body lines. So not a bad thing at all. We have a little corner glass, and I mean little corner glass here towards that rear seat. And it actually kind of starts the flowiness of that rear end. At the back, again, some chrome on top of these taillights, which the katana blade kind of ties in, I find. LC500 right in the middle, I love that. It's very much like the rest of the market. Porsche 911 does a really good job there with it in the center. We got chrome tips at the bottom. And again, this is the best sounding engine ever. It sounds so good from back here. There is a valve in there that opens and closes. You can't override it, but I heard you can get a module to like just leave it open if you want. And now the taillights. So these are the most special taillights I've ever seen in any car ever. And I mean, even compared to the Germans. So this is a hologram layered taillight. So the goal about this is actually to have like afterburner effect like a jet engine. So imagine Tom Cruise in his Tomcat or whatever. Can't remember the name of the jet that he flies. That's the afterburner effect, and it looks so cool in traffic, especially at night. If you're behind one of these at a stoplight at nighttime, it is very captivating seeing that taillight. And I think Lexus did such a good job incorporating little details like that. I think that's part of what makes the LC, because they didn't have to. Now, if we go and touch this little button here, open up the trunk, and you can see it's a very usable trunk. You could fit some golf clubs in there, although I might put the driver in the front. We have a tire inflate kit. Again, some more Palomino colored accessories like the carpeted floor mats. And something else Lexus thought about was using a handle to close the trunk instead of touching the paint, which I'm always guilty of touching the paint, but you can actually just go like this. Oops, hang on, let me try that again. I'm always so nervous. Ugh, there we go. And then you can finish it off. I did not do that very eloquently, but I saw an LC owner do it a lot better than I did. Let's look at the interior. Okay, before getting in the interior, as soon as you open the door, you're greeted by forged carbon. This was not even advertised on the brochure. That's just something Lexus did. We have these bolts that say Lexus. Really cool that that little detail is there. Getting inside, look at that door panel. So we have the floating door handle mixed with some Alcantara flowing and artistically some pleats in that Alcantara. It's a very nice soft Alcantara. We have our door switches here, obviously our window bezel, etc., etc. And also another one of those katana blades right here and here. And again, that's all very high quality materials. Everything here is high quality. Looking here, we have our trunk and our heads-up display, our fuel, which it takes premium, by the way. And then we have this little shelf up here for dimmer and odometer trip. I'm gonna start it up. Because I don't always get to do that, and I don't know how long I'm gonna get to do that for, so I might as well. We have snow mode over here and traction control off. So off for traction and then, off for traction and then snow mode, which is cool. And the button, the little light snow turns up. I would definitely leave the traction control on in this car. This isn't, if you're a really good driver, maybe you can turn it off and get a little tail happy, but I would leave it on. We have our headlight switch. That is just a normal switch. The paddles, though, are magnesium. So the paddle shifters are actual magnesium. So they have a nice feel to them. Very tactile steering wheel controls. So they're actual buttons. It's a very analog car. And it's so funny because when it came out, I did not think it was analog. Now, almost 10 years later, I'm like, wow, this is actually very much an analog car. We can move over that tachometer just like in the LFA. The IS used to do that as well. And that exposes some other menus, range, a really big, oil temperature gauge. We have G-force meter, gear positions, tire pressures, etc., etc. And then on the other side, we have the radar cruise control buttons as well as lane departure alert. We have some media still, mode, etc. And then wipers, which are automatic. Up here, we have our drive mode. So the reason it's there is for the Tizuna concept. This is driver and control. So if you go up once, it's sport mode. Up again, it's sport plus. And you can kind of see my gauge cluster. I'm gonna turn this. So when I was in sport plus, it actually changes it drastically on the gauge cluster. If we go side, it goes back to normal. If we go side again, it goes custom. Cool custom mode, by the way, is do the suspension of Sport Plus, but then everything else is normal. We can go down for comfort or down again for eco. Okay, so those are the different drive modes. Moving down to the center console, we have a very big shifter. It is shift by wire, but it's a big one and it feels big. We can hit there for P. We have a brake hold button. And then this is the button that I mentioned. It used to be that you had to go through some layers on the screen to get to any type of seat controls. Now you just go like that and it'll bring them up on the screen. You can go, auto, which is where I leave it. You could go manual or crank the cooled seat. Same with the steering wheel controls, you just hit that right there. Then we have seek track up here, it's just a little switch. Then we have a wheel for tune, which I think is great because you can really, tune that radio. Volume knob is very unique. It's a very big volume knob. And the whole point about this is you can actually just rest your hand here and be like, okay, seek track, tune, volume, etc. And then you can also just hit your bird's eye view right there. So it is all meant so that you don't have to actually look down. I've always been a big fan of the handle here. So you can just grab that or your passenger can grab that. The center armrest is kind of funny how it works. So it slides open a little bit and you have a space not even big enough for a phone, but then you can open it up. And then when you shut it, it does, I'll do that one more time. It does the Omotenashi slow down, which is really cool. I did mention you can get a clamp for this. So you can actually clamp on this for your phone. There's a company that makes it. The glove box is cool how it opens. It's just this little button. So you actually just hit that button, it opens, it's electric. Up here, we have a really nice Alcantara as well. So in some of the other models, it's kind of like a artistic decor. Here, it's Alcantara, which is great. It's interesting that the roof liner is an Alcantara in this package, only in the performance package. And up here, we just have our map lights. It's actually very, very clean looking. And we have our SOS button for the connected services, and of course the door button. That's a blank one. There's no sunglass holder or anything, which is okay. I'm used to no sunglass holders. Those are probably sensors to sense the body temperature for the climate concierge. It's not that weird. This is, yes, the previous generation of Lexus Multimedia. Still works great. I mean, once you have your phone paired, you're gonna use Apple CarPlay, Android Auto anyway, or you can use the cloud-based nav. It is a generation behind because now we have a new system coming out, but it does the job. And by the way, the seating position in this car is very nice. Going with the base model, you get a touring style seat, more of a comfort seat. And the sport seats, sometimes the bolsters are just a little too much. This is a very comfortable road trip style seat, you're still in place. Like, you're still not going anywhere. And the steering wheel is a nice size too. It's not too big, not too small. It is very grippy. Yeah, and in the glass roof, I am a slick top guy for sure, so I don't mind the carbon roof on the higher packages. But letting some light in right now is kind of nice. Like, I can see an airplane flying over right now. I wouldn't be able to see that in my car, that's for sure. Climate control all right in the center here. So we have some actual, again, very nice material buttons to control all of those, and they're set up very nicely. There is a little secret button down here for your parking brake. So that's what that is. And I will just get out and just kind of show you the back seat. I'm not gonna go in it because that would be too much work, but you can see. It is, it is back here. And even though Lexus knows no one is coming back here, there's still Alcantara that goes all the way back there. There's still, you know, a speaker, some seat material, Mark Levinson in the center. There's actually even, you can even get a floor mat back there, which is crazy because I would never do a floor mat. Okay, so I feel like I have so many videos of me driving LCs, but if we were to mash them all together, I could almost guarantee that I pick up on different things that I like every single time because I just like so much about this car. First thing is, I'm just gonna put it in sport mode. That's the best way to drive this car, is sport mode or sport plus, because it is a heavier car. So doing the sport plus to me really makes it feel athletic, because it is a pretty athletic car for the size, that's for sure. And this is pretty cool because I get to drive this car before the new owner, with his permission, of course, and it has like 15 kilometers on it. Even in like a city street, doing that exhaust, hang on, I'm gonna do that again. It's got the best transmission in the lineup as well that we've ever made with Lexus. Oof, a little bit of crackle there, which is great. And I love the Palomino interior. I really think this is like one of those cars, when you do an interior like Palomino, it is all Palomino. Like, the dash, the carpets, the door panels, there was no break from it. And I really like that. It looks very, very bright in here. I'm gonna do Sport Plus to get on the highway, I think, because the on-ramp is always fun. It's like the best time. Little side street here, little side street action, second gear. Beautiful. And so comfy, like even in Sport Plus, it's not really bouncing a whole lot. Oof, the downshifts. Oh my God. That's so beautiful. I got like camera equipment all around, so I gotta make sure nothing flies off. And the car is brand new. I don't wanna push it too hard, but I'll give you guys a little sneak peek because it can handle it. That valve really opens when you get on it. There is a module I've heard that you can make that valve open all the time, but it changes a lot when you get into it. And then guess what? We can just go back down to normal. Even in normal, the engine still has that crack to it when you step on it. Just not quite as much. And it's a great touring car. Like, I can set my cruise control now. It's radar cruise, by the way. We can put our lane departure on, and we can just chill. We can just enjoy the drive. It still sounds great. It's too bad. I know that the owner of this car is out of town right now, but if him and his business partner were in town, I would almost hope he would see me driving it. It's such a cool story, how we met, as well as the YouTube stuff, and I think it's just great. Super comfy. Now what I would do, you could also put it in comfort mode. Comfort mode is gonna soften everything up. It's gonna really make it squishy, including the acceleration. I'm at like 3,000 RPM right now. And this is like a great, quiet, just floating car right now. So you can really do both. And that's why the new owner of this car puts a lot of mileage on stuff. He's got a couple LSs with like huge mileage that he's driven from here all the way to Mexico and back. I hope him and everybody else who's allowed to drive this car does the same, because it can do it and you can do it as the driver. Like, fatigue isn't a thing with this car. Just so athletic, just goes. I'm in normal mode. Let's go back to sport. Blind spot monitoring, got all the latest safety stuff. That's crazy. It's an amazing downshift. It really does change the tone when there's, you know, throttle in it. And now we're back to some country roads, and they're all very, very smooth. Okay, that's enough about the drive. I'm gonna get like sidetracked on this video and just talking about how much I like driving it, but let's talk about the interior. So everything that you touch in this interior is a high quality material, like metal or very soft leather or Alcantara, ultra suede. I do think on this one they actually call it Alcantara, and that adds to this cabin. I've always said, and I'll always say it, the LC interior is better than a lot of its competitors, including Porsche 911, and trust me, I can say that. It's gonna be haters in the comments. Aston Martin is a close, but Lexus still just leveled up with quality materials. Yes, there's less ambient lighting, even though there is ambient lighting. It's not like in your face. Yes, there's only one screen. And by the way, even that screen is like a point of contention with like the old LC owners, because the old LC, before the redesign, had that screen like recessed into the dash, but Lexus knew they needed to update it, get that, you know, Gorilla Glass type touch, like a cell phone, and really modernize it. Oh, we're gonna do just a little burp here, hang on. Just great. It doesn't blow your mind, but the sound does. That's a big thing. I love the little handle here. By the way, if you are an LC owner, you will notice there might not be anywhere to put your phone. There is a mount that you can get that grips on this extra little panel here, the little handle, and that gives you a spot to like mount your phone, because, you know, otherwise you're putting it in the center. Love the floating door handles. I love the fact it has a snow mode, by the way. I know I sounded very Canadian there. It has a snow mode. It's got eco, normal, comfort, custom, sport, and sport plus. It does also have, and I love this, the gauge cluster that moves over right here. So just like the LFA inspired gauge cluster, I love the Alcantara on top of the gauge cluster too. And it's not, by the way, it's not a huge gauge cluster. It's not like all screens and stuff. It's just what you need when you need it, which makes this car kind of analog, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, there's an MR2 there. I don't know if that's my friend. I don't see many of those around. Everything's very tactile in this car. Like your buttons and features are just kind of where you expect them to be. You don't have to like get distracted. That was part of the Tizuna concept, which is the driver in control. We've seen that in a few Lexuses. Oh, even just cruising, the engine sounds really good. There's no blind spots. Like the mirrors see the back fenders. One of my LC guests was in yesterday, and he doesn't live super close to Niagara, but he had to come down here, and then he decided he was just gonna go drive by the falls in his LC convertible. And that's the great thing about this style of Grand Tourer, is it's fun when you want it to be fun. It's comfortable when you want it to be comfortable. If you want to go on a long road trip, or if you want to just take the long way home, it does all of those things that you want it to do, and it does it well. By the way, in normal, it doesn't do a crazy rev match, or if we go sport plus, it's definitely more aggressive. Oof, that down to second is the best. That's how I would just drive this thing in the city. Okay, what else? Space-wise, I'm about 6'4". I'm about 6'1". I have lots of room above me. You know, being a taller guy, this is a very nice sports car cabin. Much bigger than a lot of the competitors as well. Oh, the presence of this car is just wild. Especially with the base wheels. Like everybody loves the performance package and convertible wheels the most, I get that. But the base wheels give the whole car a different look. Like the best is to have both, I think. By the way, like normal or sport, there's no wind noise. And that's the thing with Lexus, is there is so much more time and energy spent on making the ride and the drive a luxurious one, even if it's a sports car. Lexus put all of their eggs into this basket and made it high quality in every aspect of it. There's not one shortcoming of this car, with the exception of, I wish I bought one. I was talking to a sales guy the other day, and we both agreed if we knew what this car, how special this car was. It's like, you don't know what you have until it's gone. That's the LC. Because if I can go back 5 years, instead of investing in you know, Bitcoin, which I never did, by the way, I would have invested in an LC. Some people say it might even be the next Mark IV Supra, which is a big deal. And those of you who know me know I have one of those, and I will never get rid of it. And if I had an LC, I would never get rid of this car either. Like, I've just put 15 kilometers on this car in this video alone, and I can't get enough of it. I would drive it every day, probably. How many people can say that? So that's that. One of my last drives in a brand new LC. It's pretty, that's a big deal. This car was special and will remain special. If you have an LC, as much as I want to buy it off you, don't get rid of it, because they don't make them like this anymore. Okay, so there you have it. It could be my last video on the new LC. I'm super happy that the owner of this car let me film this. It is a moment in history. for me. The LC has given us so much that this brand was wanting, sort of that true F performance personality with that amazing sounding V8, a true Grand Tourer that didn't take any shortcuts when it came to styling, materials made, horsepower, sound of the engine. All of those things are just over the top, extra. And it's a car that is already, at this point in time, in August 2026, it is already going up in value. I'm seeing used ones on the market for well over MSRP because of Lexus, announcing that they're getting rid of it, when we know it's reliable, we know it suits so many people for the price. It's got a feel to it that should be double the price, and I think the used car market is sort of catching up to that, and I can't wait to get my hands on one. Like I said, one of my only regrets in life is not buying a new LC a few years ago, because I probably would spec it out very similar to this. Even, at the lowest model like this, green on Palomino, looks absolutely amazing. You could always change the wheels later. You could always lower it later. You could always do some things later to make it yours. In fact, feeling more nostalgic now, the LC is sort of how this whole channel started. If you go back in time and look, one of the first high quality YouTube videos we ever did was on our Artisan Spirits LC. And that really kicked off a little bit of what we could do on camera and who we were on camera, me and the others involved in the channel. So saying farewell to a beloved friend like the LC is a big deal, but it also excites me for what's next with the Lexus and the GR Racing lineup. So stay tuned for more on that soon. I'm Dustin Mason from Performance Lexus in St. Catharines. Make sure you hit like and subscribe for more Lexus related content. And if you do have an LC, make sure you reach out to me. We have a little bit of an LC community going on down here, and we do host some events throughout the year.